My name is Jessica, 21 years old. I tentatively call myself a writer. I have an older brother. His name is Romeo, 30 years old. He graduated from college and works for a major corporation. My parents passed away in a car accident when I was in the 9th grade. The shock led to depression and I became reclusive. As a result, I couldn't attend high school. Later, with medical help and my brother's support, I've now recovered. When our parents died, my brother had just graduated from college and was a new employee. Right after joining the company, my brother faced a tough situation, but he worked hard, taking care of me and handling various household matters. Gradually, I started doing what I could, like cleaning my room, doing laundry, cooking, and regaining my daily routine with my brother's help. Now we live together in the house our parents left us. We split the household chores, but since I mainly work from home, preparing meals and shopping are my responsibilities. Going out for shopping is a nice change of pace for me. I find joy in cooking, from planning menus to following recipes, so I'm good at cooking. When I was reclusive, my brother bought me a laptop.
He said explore unknown worlds with this, and I started exploring various worlds on the internet.
I got interested in visiting places I saw in photos and videos on sites like video sharing platforms and forums. My brother took me to some of these places, and I also started going out on my own. Without my brother's support, I might still be reclusive. Eventually, I learned about working from home. Gradually, I started working and going out more, returning to a normal life. After our parents died, my brother became like a parent to me. He is kind yet firm, a well-balanced person, I think. He was always serious about his studies, so he got a job at a major corporation after graduating from a national university. 7 years into his job, he is now a supervisor. There was a change in my brother. He was always shy with women, but seeing his friends get married, he finally decided to start dating someone he met through a friend. 2 years later, prompted by her, they decided to get married. One day, my brother invited me to dinner, saying he wanted to introduce someone to me. It was at a Japanese kaiseki restaurant. With a bit of shyness, my brother introduced me to the woman who would become my sister-in-law. Her name is Amanda. She graduated from the same university as my brother and is 2 years younger than him. She works as an office lady at a major food company. Her wavy, semi-long hair made her look older than her age.
Nice to meet you. I'm Jessica, his sister. Please take good care of my brother.
Likewise, I'm Amanda.
You're such a cute sister. I always wanted a sister, so I'm really happy you'll be mine, she said with a smile. Her makeup was a bit heavy, but she seemed like a lovely woman. Then she started asking about me.
Romeo went to a good university, so Jessica, you must have graduated from a decent one too, right?
My brother answered on my behalf.
Well, actually, Jessica didn't go to university.
When our parents died in an accident, she was in 9th grade and suffered mentally. It took a while for her to recover. Of course, she's living a normal life now.
What? Sick in 9th grade? So you couldn't attend high school either?
Amanda seemed very surprised and pressed for more details. I also spoke about myself, adding to my brother's explanation.
Yes, that's right.
I caused my brother a lot of trouble with my illness. But thanks to him, I managed to recover. No amount of thanks is enough for what he's done for me.
I see, so that's how it was.
Amanda, my brother may look older due to his hardships, but he has a great personality. Please look beyond his appearance and see his inner qualities.
What are you saying, you rascal? I made a joke to lighten the mood after the serious conversation, but Amanda didn't laugh. However, I thought her attitude was because she was moved by what my brother had done for me, from what my brother told me. Amanda's parents both graduated from prestigious universities, and her entire family consists of university graduates. Naturally, they all graduated with excellent grades and work at well-known companies, including medical professionals and lawyers, making them an impressive family. Amanda's father is an executive at a major publishing house, and her mother is the president of a local women's association. Hearing this, I thought about how my brother was going to become part of an impressive family. Despite being busy with work, he steadily progressed with the wedding preparations. I was happy to see him like this, and helped out with what I could. One day I received a call on my smartphone. I was a bit anxious about answering a call from an unknown number, but the caller ID was displayed, so I decided to pick up.
May I ask who's calling?
Jessica, this is Amanda's mother. Nice to meet you.
To my surprise, it was Amanda's mother, my future mother-in-law.
What can I do for you?
As I nervously asked, she said, I heard from Amanda that you didn't finish high school and that your highest education is middle school. Is that right? I answered honestly.
I wasn't sure what she wanted to say, but I answered honestly.
Yes, I suffered mentally when my parents died in an accident, and it took time for me to fully recover. So I couldn't go to high school.
I sympathize with that, but the fact remains that you only completed middle school, right?
Yes.
I see. Well, I have a request. Could you please not attend Romeo and Amanda's wedding? Actually, please don't attend.
What do you mean by that?
Shocked by her unexpected words, I was taken aback.
Romeo and Amanda both graduated from top universities, and so did my husband and I.
Of course, all our relatives are university graduates too.
Yes, and what about it?
You really are slow, aren't you? Just as one would expect from someone who only finished middle school.
With a sigh, my future mother-in-law continued.
You see, as I mentioned earlier, our family is elite. University graduates are a given. Our family members hold high positions in major corporations, are doctors, lawyers, and have significant status. Such distinguished people will attend the wedding.
I began to understand what she was implying.
So, I don't want someone with just a middle school education, like you, at such an event. In fact, I prefer you not to come at all.
But I am his sister, his only family. I can't just not attend.
Please do not come anyway. How can we introduce you with a middle school education to our relatives without feeling embarrassed? Do you understand? Anyway, I've conveyed our wishes.
How incredibly rude. I was trembling with anger after hanging up the phone. Their disdain for me, a middle school graduate, stems from their excessive concern with appearances and face. I have never been ashamed of my life and always believed I shouldn't be looked down upon by others. But now I wonder, is my existence going to bring unhappiness to my brother? If I step back, my brother can have a happy marriage and a fulfilling life ahead. I've always caused him trouble, so I want him to be truly happy. I can't be the one to ruin that. But at the same time, I can't accept being dismissed and denied. My thoughts are all muddled. I discussed this matter with my brother. He said, "Don't worry, you are my sister and my only family. Attend my wedding with confidence. I'll protect you no matter what."
But if my presence causes trouble for you, I don't mind not attending.
I do mind not attending.
There's no way that would be a problem.
You're my only sister. It would be shameful as a brother if I couldn't protect my sister, right?
Thank you, brother.
Encouraged by my brother's words, I decided to attend the wedding. On the day of the event, at the family introduction gathering, our family representative, my uncle, introduced me. My brother's in-laws, Amanda's parents, looked at me with displeasure. My brother seemed to notice their attitude as well. At the reception, the family of the bride and groom were seated towards the back, facing the main table. I worried that perhaps a seat hadn't been prepared for me, but there was one. As I sat down, I felt piercing stares. Indeed, my future mother-in-law was looking at me. She marched over and said, "Why are you here? I told you not to come, as you would be an embarrassment to our family."
I am his real sister. There's no reason for me not to be here.
As I retorted strongly, she said, "How dare you speak like that with just a middle school education? Remember this." Leaving these harsh words behind, my future mother-in-law walked away. Soon, the bride and groom made their entrance. Seeing my brother in a different aura than usual made me smile involuntarily. Amanda was also beautifully dressed and looked radiant. No sooner had the matchmaker finished speaking than my future mother-in-law stood up and began talking to the MC. Then, taking the microphone, she began to speak loudly.
Our family has all graduated from university and are engaged in respectable professions.
Romeo is a man worthy of our family, but there is one problem. That problem is his middle school educated sister. She is an embarrassment to our family. I earnestly request the groom to disown his sister. If he cannot do this, we cannot allow this marriage. The hall buzzed with murmurs, but my future mother-in-law, undeterred, turned to my brother and said, "Romeo, can you swear right here to disown this embarrassing middle school educated sister and become a member of our distinguished family? As if it was the most natural thing, both the bride and future father-in-law nodded in agreement. Then with a triumphant look, she handed the microphone to my brother. Taking a deep breath, my brother responded, "Indeed, my sister is a middle school graduate,
Indeed, my sister is a middle school graduate.
but she is my only living relative in my blood family, as we lost our parents. I cannot disown my sister. I apologize to everyone present here today, but I will call off this marriage and consider my ties with this family as non-existent. This is my answer." After declaring this, my brother slammed the microphone onto the table and came straight to me. With a relieved and refreshing smile, he said to me, "Jessica, I'm sorry for the trouble. There's no need for us to be here. Let's go home." Later, I heard from the relatives who were present that the reception was called off because the groom left midway. The bride burst into tears, and her parents were blamed by the relatives, leading them to apologize profusely on their knees. The wedding gifts had to be inevitably returned. Later, my uncle contacted my brother. He said that although my brother's actions at the reception were not commendable, had he continued with the marriage, he would have disowned him. Furthermore, the bride's family agreed to bear all the expenses of the ceremony. And there was an offer to pay a suitable compensation, but my brother declined it. He said that rather than resolving the matter with money, he wanted a sincere apology to his sister. After a while, a meeting was arranged at our home for post-event settlement. I was determined to show my former in-laws something significant. The meeting was attended by my former sister-in-law and her parents, 3 people in total. They brought a gift and some money labeled as compensation for the inconvenience, and offered apologies for their behavior at the reception. However, the apologies didn't seem heartfelt. They felt obligatory rather than genuine. The former mother-in-law even said, "We should have conducted a thorough background check. If we had, such a thing would never have happened." Showing no sign of remorse, the former father-in-law continued, "Romeo should have told us more about his sister from the start. That way we all could have avoided this unhappiness." Furious, I was ready to put into action the plan I had prepared.
Father-in-law, well, you're not my in-law anymore, but for convenience, I'll address you as such.
"You work at Rainbow Publishing, right?" The former father-in-law, looking at me sternly, replied, "Yes, that's right, I'm a director there." "What about it?" He looked down on me with a disdainful gaze.
I have been working with Rainbow Publishing, but I can't bring myself to like a company associated with you, so I've decided to terminate our contract.
Is that all? It doesn't matter. There are plenty of other workers. It won't have any impact. Of other workers, it won't have any impact. Sure, I'll get right on it, and then I'll sign with your competitor. Please, by all means, suit yourself. I said, glancing at my former father-in-law's smug stance.
Sure, I'll get right on it, and then I'll sign with your competitor.
Please, by all means, suit yourself.
I called the editor at Rainbow Publishing and informed them of the contract cancellation. There was some fluster on the other end of the line, but I said what I needed and hung up. So then I called the rival company to proceed with a new contract. After the call ended, the former father-in-law still sat smugly. My brother, unable to grasp the situation, looked around, puzzled.
Hello, yes, it's me. That's not what. What do you mean?
He then began to whisper, and his face turned pale. After ending the call, the former father-in-law turned to me and with a lowered posture nervously asked, "You are... No, are you the popular author Ike Jessica?"
Yes, well, that's me. Ike Jessica is my pen name for light novels. Why do you ask?
He stammered.
The thing is, our CEO said that a popular author is terminating their contract with us, and it's my fault. I mentioned it earlier, didn't I? I asked if it was okay to cancel the contract, and you said it didn't matter. I asked, that's all there is to it. I spoke calmly and matter-of-factly.
You're a successful elite, aren't you? Isn't a middle school graduate like me an embarrassment to you?
I apologize. Please, I beg you, reconsider canceling the contract.
Seeing her father's sudden change in demeanor, my former sister-in-law asked in bewilderment, "Why are you groveling to this mere middle school girl?"
Idiot! She's the flagship author of our publishing house. If she leaves, the loss to our company will be immeasurable. The CEO has told me to take responsibility. If this continues, I'll be demoted.
What? Really?
You. If this happens, it will be too embarrassing to face our relatives. Please do something.
My former sister-in-law and her parents were in a state of confusion and conflict.
Professor, could you please reconsider?
It's impossible. The matter is already settled. Please leave.
My brother, supporting me, added, "That's the situation. Could you please leave now?" My brother and I smiled as we watched the three of them leave our house, shoulders slumped. After they left, my brother exclaimed in surprise, "You're a popular author?" I had no idea.
Well, I was using a pen name.
Last year, I posted a story online that became really popular. Rainbow Publishing approached me for a contract. I've actually been making quite a bit of money. I explained proudly. My brother's smile brightened. It felt like the first time in a long while that I had seen such a smile on his face. And with that, the broken engagement was fully resolved. My former sister-in-law is apparently looking for a new partner. But after the widespread knowledge of this incident, nobody seems interested in her. She's become reclusive, even quitting her job. The former father-in-law, deemed responsible for the contract termination with me, was demoted to a regular employee. Unable to endure working in the warehouse, he eventually resigned. The former mother-in-law, after her disgraceful behavior at the reception, was harshly criticized by her relatives and became ostracized from her once proud elite family. It felt like a just dessert. I moved to a new publishing house, which supported me and helped in turning my popular work into a comic. This has further increased my popularity, and now there are talks of making it into an anime. My brother has buried memory of the wedding as a dark chapter in his history, and is now focusing on his work. I'm eagerly waiting for my brother to meet someone wonderful. Finally, our lives have returned to peace and quiet. I continue to immerse myself in creating light novels, finding happiness in this repetitive routine. I'm planning to go on a trip with my brother again, carrying along the portraits of our parents who passed away in the accident,